Quinn jungle. Her early game power and ganking is exceptionally strong, in addition to scaling well into a split pusher late game. Let's start with some runes. At a base level, a standard attack damage page will do you just fine. However, I like to take attack speed marks for better clears and a bit of cooldown reduction and place the magic resist to help us spam abilities a bit more. Needless to say, it's an attack damage page because Quinn relies on auto attacks to do damage. In addition, her abilities scale off AD. Pretty much everyone from any role takes the same level up path. Take and max Q first, followed by E second and W last. Of course, take a point in the ult whenever possible. We do this because the damage scaling on the Q is a lot bigger as opposed to the other abilities. For the most part, just go for a standard jungler page, Specky and Bounty Hunter because we kill a lot, and Strength of the Ages for the free health points, which helps to round out our build without even building defensive items. If you're particularly bloodthirsty or whatever, an offensive page, Specky and Bounty Hunter and Thunderlord's Decree is also an option. Admittedly, the extra damage can mean the difference between getting a kill on their first gank or not. Standard junglers start with Hunter's Machete, 3 health potions and a warding totem, notably not refillable since it just takes up space come mid game and we don't need the sustain by that point. Typically I'm very Tracker's Knife eccentric because of the vision, but Quinn in particular loves to duel and Red Smite will help tremendously. Around the same time, pick up Boots of Mobility and look to upgrade to both Warriors Enchant and Swifties with Alacrity. We take Warriors because of the extra attack damage and Swifties over other options because of the mat presence obtained is crazy powerful. If you're pretty much the only damage source on your team, consider Berserker Greaves with Furor. With just those 2 items, Quinn will wreck just about any other enemy. However, continue to scale into the late game with either some damage, defense, or a mix thereof. First up in the item I almost always get, Yumu's Ghostblade. At a base level, the stats work well on the attack damage focused Quinn, and the speed up is invaluable for picking off targets. Other options include Rapid Fire Cannon and Affinity Edge. Both give hefty attack damage and crit chance, the distinction being between attack speed or raw damage respectively. Defensively, consider Maul Mortius and or Sterix for anti-ability power attack damage burst, respectively. Otherwise, Mercurial Scimitar against hard CC, Banshees against heavy ability power, or Randuin's against heavy attack damage. Gank heavy in the early game. As soon as you hit level 3, look for a kill. Quinn has exceptional kill ability at all points of the game. Don't just hide in your jungle waiting for the perfect opportunity. Make one. In the mid game, use your ultimate to fly across the map looking for more kills, which leads to turret taking. Remember, taking turrets leads to global gold for your entire team. Roam heavy, get kills, push turrets. Come late game, if you haven't already won, stick to split pushing. Assuming you aren't too far behind, there is hardly anyone in the game that can destroy you in a one-on-one. Push multiple lanes at once using your ultimate, and then when the enemy team is distracted, you push a single lane very hard. Remind your team not to engage while you're splitting. If need be, you can ult to a team fight and take out the backline from a flank. Weave abilities between auto attacks for maximum damage. For example, auto attack Q, auto attack E, auto attack repeat. Reason being, every time Q or E is used, the target becomes vulnerable, proccing a ton of damage on hit. It's tricky to use or even think about in the heat of battle, so just get into the habit by using the spell rotation on every jungle camp. Use the Red Smite at the start of every fight to start the effects immediately, and needless to say, don't just use it willy-nilly on every camp you come across. I'd say notably, it's okay to use it on the Krugs for that stun proc, but otherwise it should be completely used on champions. Attack moving in general is a good habit. Attack moving on Quinn is nearly essential. I won't get too deep into attack moving since that's an entire guide by itself, but basically it works like this. You move and then you press the button for your attack move either on the target or on the ground, then you move once more. It's pretty difficult to get the hang of initially, but once you start, you won't stop. This is incredibly important on Quinn because she's so mobile, and attack moving keeps you from misclicking or otherwise standing perfectly still. E is significantly more useful than one might initially think. Since it's a physical displacement, it can stop all channels, including ults like Katarina or teleports. Additionally, it stops dashes like Nar's Hop. This feathered duo is the quintessential solo carry champ. From pushing turrets in a far lane one moment to assassinating the backline in a team fight the next.